Hello and good day to all friends. I am Mushtaba Rosti from the Thales team, and today, November 19th, 2025, I'm here with you to analyze Bitcoin using the Thales Market Screener tool. Please note that these analyses are for educational and informational purposes only, and if you use them to take positions in the market, the responsibility for any profit or loss will be entirely your own. So let's get started with the Thales tool and the Thales Market Screener and see what we can gather from the trades. Let's consider the trades from the beginning of today up to this very moment for the expiration. Let me check for the November 20th expiration, which is tomorrow, and show you with a curve. We're facing a volatility where the downside, the decline, is closer to profit, while you can see the curve on the upside is moving sharply into loss. We can find the bottom here where it intersects with the break-even area. The bottom here is around 85,000 and our ceiling is about 94,000. And right now we've gotten very close to the ceiling. In fact, maybe the bottom where we hit was actually the realized ceiling. Of course, it's possible we might have another high here, considering the support in the shadow, so we have a kinda oscillating situation. But if we move the slider forward, you can see from here the trades have turned bearish. From today at noon, the options trades that have come in have had a bearish outlook. You can see that below 90,600, 91,000, they're actually seeing profit. Look, puts have been bought along with a price drop, delta is decreasing, puts have been bought aiming for below 90,000, 91,000, and the prevailing outlook has become bearish. As we go further, there's a bit of a bullish leg that comes up, then again a bit of a chance for a rise, and then it drops again. So in the last hour, the bearish outlook has really taken over. Let's take a look at the November 21st expiration, which is the day after tomorrow, Friday, the end of week options expiration, which is very important. Now, again, it's volatile here, and we're at the bottom. Right now, we're at the bottom of this volatility. You can see we're at the bottom of this volatility. It could even drop to 90,000 or even 89,500, but we're at the bottom. The peak profit of this red curve is at 106,000, and its ceiling here is at 110,500. So it seems that for tomorrow, overall, we'll have volatility here, but it looks like we might experience a move downward, which might have already happened. We'll check this in the detailed trades. Most likely, that downward move predicted by the put buyers is exactly what we've seen here, and probably, based on what we're seeing now for Friday, we might see an upward move, a possible attack on 93 again. Let's go and review the detailed trades for tomorrow, starting from 2,000 Bitcoin. Let me start from 2,000 Bitcoin. There are 873 Bitcoin buys with 418 Bitcoin call buys and 454 Bitcoin put buys. The put buys are higher by about 36 Bitcoin. Where are they targeting? The put buyers see profits below 89,800. They see profits below 89,800. We actually dropped down to 91,000 on this shadow, got really close, and if we look back on the hourly chart and count the candles from the starting point where we considered the trades, about 16 to 17 hours have passed. So if we go back 4 to 5 candles, we get to this point. Around here is where the options trades came in. So from that point on, we've been in a downtrend. It seems the put buyer's outlook has come true, and at one point we dropped down to 90,000. Here, the put buyers below 9,100 saw profits, which we actually got close to, even achieved. So now it's likely that the call buyer's outlook will take priority, aiming for a move above 9,200. That's why I'm saying we could see another upward attack toward the resistance. There's also a divergence between the price and the RSI here, so we could see an upward move. Now let's look at the seller's perspective. Option sellers have sold 1,218 Bitcoin contracts, 722 Bitcoin in call options sold, and 496 Bitcoin in put options sold. The call option sales are absolutely higher than the put option sales, which shows that for the upward move call buyers are targeting at 9,300, the sellers have set a ceiling and believe we won't go above 9,280. Here, the call sellers have set their ceiling at 92,800 and 92,930. So even if we move up, we'll probably get stopped here. And where do the put sellers see the floor? The put sellers see the floor at 89,600 and 89,500. So a move upward and then another attack toward this lower floor, an attack toward this lower floor, could be a scenario we can actually talk about. As you can see, we've overlaid the buyer and seller option curves. If you look at the intersection points, the exact intersection at the top is the agreement point between the buyer and seller at 94, which is at a loss. See, it's below the overhead line, in the loss zone. As we said, we'll probably head upward, and there will be another attack at 93,500, which here the intersection also shows the number 93,900. And on the downside, the agreement is at 88,700, which is in profit. This is an important point. It's in profit. And the zone that's formed here, see, between these 2 points, the zone that's formed is the agreement zone. The agreement zone between the seller and buyer, which, again, being in profit in this agreement, and this zone that's formed, which is a wider agreement zone, shows a greater tendency for a move downward in the longer term. We said that in the coming hour there's a chance for another attack toward 93, but our main trend is a move toward this floor, toward the floor at 89,000. Okay, let's enter these points into the indicator and continue. Okay, the upper and lower agreement points have been entered into the indicator. You can see that the indicator bands, our ceiling band, the green band, which is the ceiling, are still moving downward for tomorrow, and we expect a lower ceiling. Ultimately, this ceiling will again end at 94. So this upper level we're talking about will probably end with an attack at this point and stop. And on the downside, what's important is that the floor has increased. That means the expected floor for tomorrow, which is this point, has gone higher compared to the floor predicted for today. So this shows that the downward move we will have probably won't be a heavy drop. We'll probably see a move down to around 8,800. For tomorrow's expiration, we refer to the second database, the processed database. You can see that in this database, both the delta and the red curve show us that we can expect a bullish move upward. If we move the slide forward, you'll see that from midday today, the bullish outlook gets much stronger in the process database, meaning we could see a move upward to around 94. So this is another point of interest in the process database. Of course, you can see that the bearish leg also has a chance to materialize, but the slope of the bullish leg is clearly stronger, and its likelihood in the coming hour seems higher. Also in the process database, in the strategy section, you see a set of strategies for Davis Bitcoin, which shows a short strangle. This short strangle for tomorrow expects volatility between 80,750 and 95,000. So again, as we said, we could see a move upward to around 93,000, 93,500, then probably get rejected and come down toward 89 and 88. Again, here at the end, we can clearly see another strategy at work. There are actually two very similar blocks here, which together make up what is known as the long straddle strategy. This is a strategy where the trader does not choose a direction. In fact, they can profit from movement in either direction. In the liquidity heat map, you can see that over the past 48 hours, there is a concentration of liquidity at 94,000 on the upside. Below the price, there's a small amount of liquidity at 9,800 and 9,400, and more scattered even lower. But it seems that the amount of liquidity above could push the price up, especially considering the divergence seen here, and the support we observed here, the shadow left by this candle. It seems likely that the price could make another move upward and probably absorb the liquidity at 94. Overall, it looks like this could lead to another move and an attack toward 89 and 88 from here. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.